Hey, we are talking about Johns Creek today, everything Johns Creek, Georgia. So Mary Ellen Vanock and Sue Jennings, real estate ladies of North Atlanta. So I think we're going to just dive into Johns Creek and the hidden gems in Johns Creek.
So on May 20th, 2025, the U.S. News and World Report named Johns Creek, Georgia as the #1 place to live. It's out of the top 250 best places in the country to live in. Johns Creek is #1. It's only about 25 miles from downtown Atlanta. It's near major highways, and the international airport here in Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta is one of the best in the country. And the other beauty about Johns Creek, other than shopping, dining, and everything else, is fantastic schools, low crime rates, and a strong sense of community. Population is just about 79,000 people. The median home value is about $528,000, and the median household income is about $164,000. So it's just a charming suburban neighborhood close to the Chattahoochee River, metro Atlanta area. And it was really incorporated less than 2 decades ago in 2006. And I know that's just a short period of time, but it's now been nationally recognized for its high standard of living, meticulously maintained neighborhoods, nature preserves that exist there, and also first-rate public schools as well as private schools. So if you're interested in moving to the North Metro Atlanta area, Johns Creek might be an option for you. There's some hidden gems here for homeowners with great homes, strong value, and desirable amenities. And the first one we're going to talk about is where, Mary Ellen?
So I just wanted to say one thing about Johns Creek, okay? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, like, it's only been incorporated since 2005, did you say? So six. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So not even 20 years. Right. And I remember when this all happened. So a lot of times you might have an Alpharetta address, but you're in Johns Creek.
Right.
So I want everyone to understand that Johns Creek used to be a part of Alpharetta. Mm-hmm. So when you're looking at a map, it's just kind of like this little area that kind of went off on their own. And the same thing happened to Milton. So Alpharetta used to be this big, big circle, right? And then all of a sudden Johns Creek went out on their own, that area of Johns Creek, but you're still going to have sometimes an Alpharetta address in Johns Creek. It just happens. And I know it's confusing, and it's just Georgia. What can I tell you?
Right.
And then Milton, the same thing. So just wanted to kind of get that into your brain, because people don't know. They get all confused around here. And I'm like, literally, they're like, well, I want to be in Johns Creek, but why is this an Alpharetta address? Right. And same thing with Milton. It happens a lot around here, but we're here to guide you and make sure you are in Johns Creek. If you want to pay those Johns Creek city taxes and stuff, we'll take that too.
Yeah. So if you're going in the North Metro Atlanta area, when we talk about Milton, Alpharetta, and Johns Creek, Milton is on the west side.
Yep.
Alpharetta's in the middle,
and
Johns Creek is to the east.
So,
but
yeah.
The areas are, all flow together. I think, the biggest thing is, on the west side where Milton is, you've got more equestrian properties and larger properties. Mm-hmm. Alpharetta itself is located along the Georgia 400 corridor, where Johns Creek is more over towards the 141 Medlock Bridge, Peachtree, and corridor along there.
Yes. All right. So the first subdivision we are going to talk about is Presswick, and the address is 370 Royal Birkdale Court, and that's in Johns Creek. And also Johns Creek, that zip code 30097 can also be Duluth, just so you know. Right. I know it's confusing, but we're here to navigate that confusion for you.
Right.
So it is for sale for $935,000. Okay. It's 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths. It's 3,923 square feet. It's 0.70 acreage, so almost 3/4 of an acre, and it was built in 1989. So of course, the same thing, you're going to have a little older homes in the Johns Creek area, because that was what was built out before the rest of Alpharetta and Milton. So, okay.
So why is this a hidden gem? It's because this is a very small, quiet neighborhood that's tucked between some larger neighborhoods. This is a low traffic neighborhood, and it's a great value. It has an intimate, friendly, and convenient location. It's walkable to restaurants and schools. It does not have a massive HOA like some other communities do. They're mostly craftsman and traditional style homes that have been updated with modern features.
Yeah. So, I mean, so I know it can be really confusing. Johns Creek, but it has a Duluth zip code. Alpharetta, it has a Johns Creek, so it's just very confusing around here, but it's pretty much all the same area. And I think what you really have to focus on is if you have family and you're focusing on schools, we have to hone in on the schools. And not worry whether the address is Johns Creek, Duluth, or Alpharetta or whatever. It's like, what is the school district you need to be in? What elementary, middle, high school? So
right. And the Johns Creek High School is a relatively new high school that was built in about 2009, and just has excellent academics.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, you can see this house when it was built. I mean, you can see those ceilings. I don't even know why they even made those ceilings. Like,
those are called drop ceilings.
I don't know why. There's like the ugliest things ever. I'm sorry. But anyway. So this is okay. So let's talk about stucco real quick. Okay. We have hard code stucco and synthetic stucco. So we have to, you have to make sure hard code stucco is fine. You also have to have it inspected. Okay, so a lot of people don't know this, but if it's synthetic stucco, that's not good. And because moisture can get underneath it. So a lot of people, if you do have a stucco home, you have to get a bond on it and make sure it's in good shape, because you don't want all that moisture, because here moisture is just all kinds of fun, should I say.
Right. So it's really not so much as to whether it's hard coat or synthetic, even though hard coat is preferred. It's the application of the stucco and how it has been cared for. So generally, when you get a stucco bond on a property, they do cut the stucco and fully inspect the stucco. And any cracks and so forth can be repaired in the stucco, and stucco's easy to repaint. So if you do see a home that you love that's stucco and you want it to be a different color, go ahead and paint it. It's easy peasy. Yeah.
Yes. So the next hidden gem that we're going into is Doublegate. And Doublegate, I love this subdivision. And the address is 865 Mount Cottonham Trail in Johns Creek. And this is listed, it's sold. It was listed at 865 and it's sold for 883. So 0.1% over asking. It's happening in the world here sometimes in certain subdivisions. So it's a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath, 4618 square feet. It's on 0.4 acres, so a little less than half. And this was built in 1989. So what you're seeing in Johns Creek is you're seeing the houses that are built in the 80s. So it's kind of like Roswell too, if you think about it, because we were talking about Roswell, the houses are more in the 80s and early 90s. Same thing with some of Johns Creek. There's parts of Johns Creek that's newer, but this happens to be an older one. And I think that's why it's a hidden gem, right? So
it's a hidden gem because Doublegate is overshadowed by some of the larger master planned communities in the area, but Doublegate is a solidly built, well-maintained neighborhood, great schools. This is a tight-knit community. It's there are a lot of people in this community, I say, have pride of ownership in their homes. There's an excellent swim tennis facility here, sidewalks, top schools. Most of the homes in the community are large brick traditionals with basements and private yards.
Yeah. I mean, you could just see, this house has been redone, nicely. You can redo a house. You just have to look at the bones, right? And if you have some creativity, you can do things to a house too as well. And what I do find is the houses that are built in the 80s and early 90s, the bedrooms are bigger. They're like the new houses they're making, bedrooms are small.
Right.
So if you're wanting a big bedroom, I don't know. Whatever. Some people I just want a bedroom to just sleep in. Okay, well then all you need to put a bed in it, right? But a lot of people, might have their desk in there and do their homework. The kids do the homework or watch TV or whatever. So I think it's a personal preference. But what I will find, I think it's so interesting when you show people houses and they come in this an expensive house and they're like, this bedroom is so small. I'm like, I know, because they're taking the space and putting it into the areas where they think people need it more, in the kitchen, and they're, putting different rooms on the houses that, are not normals,
Yeah, this has got a very extensive terrace level to it.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell it's just wide. And like I said, there we go. Looking at the drone pictures is always kind of fun.
Lots of trees in this neighborhood again. Okay. Very nice.
So the next one we are going to talk about is Spyglass. And Spyglass is in St. Ives. Okay, so here we go. We're going to talk about a country club, St. Ives. And this is 1409 Spyglass Hill Drive in Johns Creek. It's under contract at $1.795. Now, it's under contract. We don't know what the price will be, but that's what it was listed at. Right. It's 5 bedrooms. 7 bathrooms, so 5 full and 2 half, 8698 square feet. It's on a little less than a half acre, 0.43, and this was built in 93. So tell us why this is a hidden gem.
Right. So there are 2 large country club communities in Johns Creek that are relatively close to each other. Yep. One is Country Club of the South and the other is St. Ives Country Club. Depends upon who you talk to as to which one, they prefer, but this particular country club, I think, is lovely. It's well known. Some of the back sections of the neighborhood offer a little bit more privacy. It's a little bit, because those homes are a little bit farther away from 141. And you might get a little better pricing, though, if you're taking one that's closer to the road. But this particular community has a quiet elegance. It's gated. It has a private golf club and country club. Has 24/7, guard protection. Again, top tier schools. These are custom luxury homes, golf course lots, wooded cul-de-sacs.
What more can you ask for?
Great location.
Yeah, I mean, everyone likes Johns Creek and they like St. Ives, and they have lots of, tennis and pickleball and golf and really social too. Right. Like, look at the view from the back of this house here. So really pretty view with pretty pool. And outdoor living, here we go again, our outdoor living. It might not be a big lot, but you kind of feel really private because you have so many trees around you. It's a
gorgeous location. It really is.
I mean, who would not want to live there? I mean, and of course, here's the amenities. The tennis
courts and the pool, and there is swim team there. When that particular part of St. Ives is not within the gated part, it is next to it, so that if you have people coming from other tennis teams to play against a St. Ives team, or there's a swim team meet against, St. Ives, located at the St. Ives pool there, all those guests enter through a separate entrance. Yeah. So that is, the homes are still gated and protected from all those visitors.
Okay, and here's another one of my favorite little subdivisions, the Falls at Autry Mill, and that's in look. Okay, it says this address is 10410 High Falls Circle, Alpharetta, Georgia 30022. But it's
you will often see that with the Falls of Autry Mill addresses. Sometimes you'll see it listed as Alpharetta. Sometimes you'll see it listed as Johns Creek. The Falls of Autry Mill is located basically across the street from the Country Club of the South. And it's got pockets of homes within the community that are often overlooked, but they have great privacy, better pricing than if you went across the street into the Country Club of the South. These homes are upscale, family focused, socially active. It is a premier swim tennis facility with great amenities. I mean, the first time I played at the Falls at Autry Mill for a tennis match. It was a very windy day and I about blew off the top of the hill there. It's just amazing, the topography of the land, but they do have a lovely clubhouse located in top tier schools. These are executive type homes, custom homes, and a lot of them have been recently renovated.
Yes. So
Great value.
This is actually for sale for 1.450. And I just wanted to give you a little, it's 6 bedrooms, 5 full baths, 5417 square feet. It's on 0.369 acres. Does not feel like that. It's built in 1998. It doesn't really feel like that because you do have privacy a little bit too as well because of all the trees. Like you would never know that you know what I mean? That's pretty private right there, that pool.
The Falls of Autry Mill is a great neighborhood. And if I have somebody who's really interested in the country club of the South but can't afford that price tag, we go across the street and we go into the Falls of Autry Mill because you really get a wonderful home. Basically the same location as Country Club of the South.
So Sue, when you were playing tennis, were you playing here and you were falling off? No, I'm just kidding. into the lake there.
I was getting blown off. It was a windy day. That's my excuse for why I probably played really poorly.
Yeah. So really just the amenities, look how pretty that is. And it does have like a lake and it has a lot of trees and a lot of snakes too, which you will see in Georgia. They're harmless though. They're not bad.
I lived in Pennsylvania a long time. We had snakes there too.
There you go. They're everywhere. So the next one we're going to dig into is in Abberley Township. And this is such a great little gated community that is just, and this sold at 722 and it's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 3765 square feet. It's built in 2004 and it's 0.13 acres because look at it here. So tell us about this little hidden gem here, Sue.
So Abberley Township, it was built by the Providence Group. It's a mix of single homes as well as townhomes. And it's a gated community as well. It's located right off of State Bridge Road. So you're just west of 141, you're east of Georgia 400, but you could get to either easily to commute into the city. It's a very low maintenance community as far as taking care of things, but it's walkable to a lot of shops and restaurants. So it's really a blend of an urban, suburban feel. They have a very good HOA here. There's very little yard work in these homes, but they're great floor plans because the Providence Group always builds amazing floor plans with upscale finishes.
Look at that wallpaper. Ooh, wire. Stop with the wire. Wire and closets. Me don't get along. We don't like wire and closets. But that's all I can say. But look, it's so cute because they do have townhouses in this little community too as well. So it's like a mixed and it's adorable. I'm not sure that I really like the paint color of that. I think I would repaint it with the outdoors, but there's the community too.
Right.
Okay. So there was 2 in here that did not pull up on our screen. So we're going to talk about River Glen, right, Sue?
Okay.
And 8840 Glen Ferry Drive. And you're going to tell a little bit about why that community is a hidden gem.
River Glen?
Yes.
It's, as the name, implies, it's close to the Chattahoochee River. So This is an established community with a lot of character and charm that some of the younger neighborhoods kind of miss. The home lots here are wooded. It's peaceful. They have mature landscaping. Does have swim tennis. The river access is nearby. Great schools. And what's great in this neighborhood is the low price per square foot compared to some other communities in the area.
So it's not only a gem, it's a diamond in a rough.
Right. And there's a mix of home styles in the area. Most of them are traditional 2-story homes, but there are some ranch homes. And a lot of the homes in River Glen have been updated.
Yeah. Okay, great. And then another community that I really, really love, and I know you do too, as well, as Seven Oaks.
Mhm.
And Seven Oaks is such a great community and a really hidden gem. And the location is, you're kind of on the border of Johns Creek and Cumming and Swanee, and it's like in that little corner there. Easy to get to places and shopping. So tell us about Seven Oaks and the community there.
Yeah, so Seven Oaks is located right off of McGinnis Ferry Road, and across the street is Forsyth County, so it's right up at the north end of Fulton County. It's not a flashy neighborhood, but it's incredibly well maintained, beautiful lots, excellent amenities, a fantastic tennis facility there. A fantastic tennis pro teaches there as well. It's a mature community, but it's vibrant. It's socially connected. Beautiful landscaping and a convenient location. A lot of the homes are brick and stucco or one or the other, but they do have a lot of space, great floor plans, and character. It's a great family-friendly neighborhood.
Yeah, so that's just another. I mean, we talked about 7 different communities here that are in Johns Creek slash Alpharetta slash Duluth or slash whatever you want to call it. So I think it's important for people to understand that we want to put you in the neighborhood that fits your criteria and fits your needs. So, so how do we do that, Sue? So we have clients, we tell them that they have to do their homework too, right? So if you're coming from, say, California to here, and you know nothing about the area, but you're like, oh, everybody told me I need to be in Johns Creek. What do you tell them? Do you tell them to like Google Earth things? What do you tell them?
Well, the first thing I tell them is to get pre-qualified with a great
Oh, of course. Of course.
There's so many different price points of wonderful neighborhoods around here. We need to know what they can actually afford because
or they're comfortable at. I think it's what they're comfortable at because I think there's one thing of being pre-qualified, and I think that's another thing that everyone has to understand. If you're pre-qualified for, say, 500,000, but you only want to really spend 400,000, we're not looking at 500, we're looking at 400. So I think that that's really important of what you want your mortgage payment to be, not what you can afford.
And then the next thing I ask them is like where they'll be working, why they're moving to the area, and you know what the location constraints of that are as far as how long they want their commute to be and so forth. And I do factor in the traffic of Atlanta when we consider something. Then I will ask them, you know, what they want in their home. I mean, are schools important to them? You know, is swim tennis or is a golf course important to them? Is there anything in particular? We had, you know, we have buyers that, you know, want a particular church area, for instance. So we take all of this, we listen everybody's needs and wants, and your needs are one thing and your wants are another. But you know, if somebody needs master on the main or they need a bedroom on the main because they have you know, maybe another generation living with them or have a need for somebody that needs to sleep on the main level, you know, we take that into consideration. And you know, we have some people that say, you know, I have 4 cars, I need at least a 3-car garage, I can't take anything less than that. And then we have people that say, I really hate basements. Other people say, I really love basements. So these are all things that we sit down and we talk about before we, you know, go out and start looking at homes.
Yes. And yes. All right. So let's dig into the schools at Johns Creek, because that seems to drive a lot of people to this area, our schools.
Right.
And we can't tell you what schools are the best. We can't tell you anything. It's your own research. Everyone does their own research, and you can have 3 kids in one school and 2 can have amazing experience. 1 can have a bad experience. So, you know, it's really a personal choice when it comes to schools, and you got to live in that neighborhood, not me. So I always say, do your homework and drive around the neighborhood and make sure that you fit in that neighborhood.
Right. So there are actually 3 different high schools that service like the Johns Creek area. It's Johns Creek High School, Northview High School, and Chattahoochee High School. So, you know, you really do need to look at the websites for each of those schools, and they're all strong schools. The schools in this particular area are amazing. And, you know, you have strong elementary schools that feed into strong middle schools, which create strong high schools. So one thing feeds off of another with these. But as far as like the elementary schools, It depends upon where, what part of Johns Creek, of course, that you're going to be living in, because there are so many elementary schools. You've got Shake Rag, Medlock Bridge, Barnwell, Dolphin. They're all known for having a dedicated staff, strong community involvement. They want parents involved. The academics are key for all of these schools. And they feed into the middle schools of Autry Mill and Haynesbridge Middle School. There are excellent private schools in the area. I'm just going to mention one today, and that's Mount Pisgah Christian School. It's a very strong Christian school. They do accept students of all faiths, though, and it goes preschool through high school. It's known for its strong academic and athletic programs.
It has a beautiful campus.
Right. It's an excellent choice for someone who's looking for maybe a smaller classroom size for their particular student.
Right. And I can even tell you a story that I have clients who they might have sent one of their kids to private school and then the rest of them to public school, just depending on the child. So you have to take that into effect too, that maybe all your children, if you have multiple children, won't excel at that school and maybe they need another option. And that's what's so great about here is you have tons of options.
Right. So our next segment here is parks and recreation in the Johns Creek area. And Johns Creek boasts over 400 acres of parkland and nature preserves, which often, immediately implies that they've got a vast variety of recreational activities and opportunities for residents and visitors. One of my favorite places, though, is Newtown Park. And the reason why I love Newtown Park is because of their dog park. They've got, it looks like the Walt Disney World of dog parks at Newtown Dog Park. So it's, but in general, Newtown Park is a 52-acre park featuring athletic fields, tennis courts, playgrounds, and of course, that adorable dog park. Autry Mill Nature Preserve and Heritage Center is a 46-acre preserve with nature trails, historic buildings, and educational programs for all ages. Cauley Creek Park is a 203-acre riverside park with scenic views, walking trails, and access to the Chattahoochee River. OC Park has a lot of athletic fields, walking trails, and tennis courts as well. Shake Rag Park is 66 acres with multi-use trails, sport fields, and playgrounds. Rock Mill Park is a smaller but more peaceful setting with walking trails and natural areas for relaxation. And finally, Brook Street Park is a neighborhood park featuring playgrounds and open spaces for community gatherings. And that's actually more of an Alpharetta located park. Community events in Johns Creek, they have a summer concert series that you need to take advantage of. These are free outdoor concerts in Newtown Park. They have an Independence Day celebration featuring fireworks and live music. They have an international festival because of they celebrate all the diversity of the cultures in the Johns Creek area with food, music, and performances. Then they have movie nights in the park. These are held in various parks throughout the city, but it's a family-friendly movie screening event. Johns Creek also offers an arts festival showcasing local artists, musicians, and food vendors. They also have a farmer's market. This is a seasonal market with local fresh produce, goods, and live entertainment. And then at the holiday season in the winter, they offer a holiday tree lighting ceremony.
And what I really like about Johns Creek, because it's so new, it's like everybody that runs it is new and they think of all these new ideas and new things to implement into the community. So that's what I really like about it. And I know they're building some really fun things in Johns Creek that's going to be coming up. And we'll be discussing that in the future of the different areas that they're going to be building out in Johns Creek. So anything else to add about Johns Creek?
No, it's just a great place.
Number one.
High standard of living, great value, the homes there, convenient location, great educational institutions, and it's a very diverse community with established, trees and everything else. There's just an abundance of activities there and so much that you can do.
Yes.
Plus job opportunities. I mean, I mentioned in a previous podcast that Alpharetta has over 700 IT companies. Let's not forget, Johns Creek has about half that many, but again, is part of that technology center of the Southeast.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you. Today we talked about, Johns Creek and the hidden gems in Johns Creek. And Johns Creek used to be part of Alpharetta. So don't get confused. We're here to guide you. Your address might be Alpharetta, but you live in Johns Creek and you go to the Johns Creek High School. So, it's just all about Johns Creek and just it being so new, has so much opportunity and so much community that they've brought about in there. And then, of course, it has the old school of Country Club the South, which is really, I think, a golf course that a lot of people do know about in the South. But remember, in this area, we have so many golf courses. Like within a 5-mile radius, there must be 10 to 15 golf courses.
Right.
So you can play golf, you can play tennis, you can play pickleball, and you can run, you can go to the dog park, and there's just so many activities to do all year round here. So
right. A couple other things, Mary Ellen. Not all of those golf courses are private. There
Correct.
is a great public golf course that's located right off of Holcomb Bridge Road on the south side of Johns Creek, where it meets Roswell. Another thing I want to point out that people often ask us about is healthcare. Emory has a great hospital in Johns Creek that they've recently built onto. Excellent medical facility. And the other thing people will ask me about that I want to put this in there, low crime rate. It's
Yes.
very important to families.
But that's something you can just research yourself, but that's what it's known for.
Right.
And that's why it's number one in the country, right?
Mhm.
So if you want to live in the number one place, it's Johns Creek. Reach out to us and we can help you out. You can contact us through our Google form and we're happy to assist you. And also find us on socials because we love to put all this kind of stuff out there. So everything and anything about North Atlanta area. Thanks, Sue. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks, Mary Ellen. Bye.